This is quite interesting. I think we did watch a video about CoffeeZilla talking about gambling, dude. It's been absolutely insane in the last 10 years. Coffee's looking tired? Well, he has to deal with, like, realizing that everything's falling apart and nobody gives a fuck. That's what I think is happening. Like, he covers all this stuff about, like, gambling laws and, like, the prediction market opening up and how everything's gamblified. Gamblified? Yeah, gamblified. That was the word. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. All right, let's see it.
Prediction markets are not just gambling. There's also a lot of insider trading, too. Here's the Kalshi CEO kind of explaining the goal here, which is that eventually we can gamble on everything.
The long-term vision is to financialize everything. And
I'm gonna gamble on a stream or doing a live birth on Twitch.
Tradable asset out of
That's
any
what
difference in opinion.
Now understand, that guy who wants to make a tradable asset out of any difference of opinion, anything you care about, that guy just partnered with CNN and CNBC.
It honestly blows my mind that a lot of people don't see a problem with this. Like, I don't see a lot of people talking about it in general. Does nobody see, like, this glaring issue that when gambling is attached to any form of, like, media or journalism, it creates a conflict of interest in that particular, like, media? I remember the days when all of the major sports coalitions in the US, like NFL, NBA, and Major League Baseball, MLB, said it would, like, be unthinkable to ever allow gambling on their games because it would, like, jeopardize the quote-unquote integrity of their games. And then they allowed it! And now it is a thing! Like, I'm sure everyone in this chat has seen, like, the cheating scandals that have been happening over the last, like, I want to say, like, 20 years, maybe even 10 years. Like, corrupt refs that call out the wrong thing so that, like, it swings into the other person's favor if the game's not going their way. Or, like, actual players, individual players on teams intentionally throwing games in order to try and make a quick buck because they know they're going to lose or they know they'll get a lot of money out of it. Like, that's what happens because of gambling. It happens in esports as well. There's, like, a League scandal. There's a Dota scandal. Some of you probably don't know this, but I'll educate you on those who don't. Like, in Dota 2, there's a meme where everyone in chat will spam, like, 322, if, like, someone makes a really, really bad play that's very, very obviously a bad play that's gonna throw or lose the game completely. Then the reason why 322, the meme, exists is because 10 years ago, some guy in a professional Dota match, in a tournament, mind you, like in an actual one, not like an in-house game or like a little baby tournament. This is like an actual tournament. He bet $322 that his team would lose. And then he intentionally and very obviously threw the game for his team at the last minute because he's like, oh, fuck, we're gonna win. I better throw, otherwise I'm gonna lose my money. Yes, 3-2. Now explain to me how this is not alarming that the fucking news is partnering with gambling and allowing people to bet on the outcomes of major news stories. Do you not realize how fucked up that is? I know a lot of people are going to be like, oh, but Alana, this is based because Polymarket is always right. No, you're fucking retarded. That's not how it works. The powers that be will be encouraged to flub numbers or present things in like a disingenuous manner or frame things in a certain way, even though they already do that, so that the money can be made in the betting market. Do you like Like, do your neurons connect right now? It's clearly going to be an issue. Like, if you think it's fucked up, like, 10 years ago when this wasn't, like, a thing, like, officially, if you can't see how this is going to be a downward spiral, I don't know what to tell you. This is so dystopian to me. It's fucked up. For money? Yes. But Alana, the news would never lie to us. No, you're right.
Already, the news is embracing, we're bear hugging,
they love it. They
gambling
love money.
markets into our news. Just like ESPN put sports betting odds into their programs.
They used to never do that. They said they would never do it, and then, I don't know, I really love money.
Became a big part of the sports watching experience. It's all about, hey, what are the odds on the game today?
There's plans to introduce live betting market tickers on top of live news stories. Do I make the joke about, like, people getting... No, I shouldn't. This is a complete joke, but, like, what if something really terrible happens and then people, like, get hurt, and then there's, like, a live counter of, like, how many people are confirmed dead, and then they say, oh my god, it's, like, between 40 and 80, it's, like a lot of bets on it, and then, like, if it's above 80, it's, like... I don't want to say it out loud because it's so fucked up, and I think that's a horrible thing to do, but, like, I feel like that's probably what's gonna happen. Like, you place bets on, like, kill counts. Yeah. I don't know. It could happen. I don't know. Clip it, ship it. Maybe in 5 years I'm right. Maybe I'm already gone and then someone's gonna find this clip.
Markets saying the odds are. And part of what I find so grating about this dialogue, the debate right now, is the insistence by these CEOs that they are not actually gambling. There is propaganda going on that they are something completely different, all because they found a regulatory loophole that allows them to...
Oh, I heard about this. I think it's something to, like, they say it isn't gambling because there's no house, as in, like, the house, as in the house controls all the money. Like, so when you go to a casino and you put the money on the blackjack, you're betting against the house. These people are saying it's not gambling because you're not betting against the house, you're betting against other people that are betting on different outcomes. Like, say, hypothetically speaking, like, if Group A bets... I don't know, Trump will call someone a retard before 2026, so you've got like 7 days left or 8 days left until that happens, and then there's Group B that says it won't happen. Those two groups are gambling against each other, and Kalshi is just acting like a middleman and then taking the percentage of all bets as profit. Like, it's so fucking stupid. It's still gambling, but they're arguing that what I just said isn't gambling. They're saying it's not because there's no house.
Be gambling in states where it's not allowed. So here's just one post that expresses that. It says Kalshi is not a gambling company. Saying so is incorrect. I assume that people calling Kalshi gambling are uninformed rather than being defamatory, but Kalshi is not gaming. Now, I want to point out to that guy that most of the volume on prediction markets like Kalshi is made up by sports betting, aka the same thing that people bet on, like with DraftKings, FanDuel, Prize Picks.
They just want to bite.
That's what people are actually spending the majority of the volume on Kalshi specifically. Nevertheless, CEOs are bending over backwards, who, by the way, are financially invested in seeing a difference. They say there's such a difference between sports gambling and, prediction markets. Here's Vlad Tenev, who actually has prediction markets for sports, explaining the substantial difference.
Are qualitatively different than sports gambling for a couple of reasons. One is these are CFTC, federally regulated event contracts. And what that means is instead of, betting against the house or setting a line, this is an exchange, a designated contract market where buyers and sellers are meeting. So,
by the way,
but you're making money off of every transaction. That's the part that they leave out. They're like saying basically, like, how you buy a loot box in Counter-Strike and then you open the box, you're still paying $10 for the box or whatever, right? So Valve is taking a cut out of it. So they're making a shit ton of money. Even though there's buyers and sellers, obviously, like, they don't take all of the money from the person who is selling it. Yeah, they're taking a fee for facilitating the bet, just like Valve takes a cut of money out of your box that you buy or the loot box you buy from them through the person. Yeah, it's like a service fee.
By meeting, he means they're betting against each other. But he's right that instead of betting against the house is pitting people against each other, and the house just takes a cut based on trading volume. So rather than actually setting the line themselves and betting against you, they're allowing you to bet against other people, and they're still taking a cut. It's just a different way to take a cut.
Money somehow,
You're not, setting a line.
Obviously.
So I think it's very different.
But it's really not, though. You can bet on FanDuel or DraftKings one thing, and you can go bet the same thing.
So the risk is now 0? Yes, that's even more the more fucked up thing. Yeah. So they don't lose any money on it. Yeah, they just straight up just like take all the money for themselves, the cuts.
Basically on Robinhood. It's both sports gambling one way or the other. And this has generated an interesting fight between the nascent upcomers who want to be in this prediction market game and the casinos who kind of are feeling cheated right now because they have to go through the hoops of gambling regulation. And so you actually saw the AGA, who I'm actually very against. It's a trade group for gambling, but I guess the enemy of my enemy is my friend for now. Basically, they put up their own version of a propaganda website against...
Oh, they're fighting against each other now. Oh.
The prediction markets, because the prediction markets are eating too much of their lunch, and they're like, hey, this is unfair that these guys have the loophole. So they're now propagandizing and running ads for the fact that prediction markets are just sports betting, like they are gambling.
When prediction markets...
They're actually just like malding each other. They're malding out at each other.
Markets become sports books. They put consumers and the integrity of sports at risk.
That's what the gambling industry is saying, while the prediction market industry is saying, no, guys, we're not just that.
Should we bet on who would win between the two? Yeah, just make your bets right now. I bet you $100 on Polymarket that they actually do have that. They have a bet on like who's gonna win on the legislation or like the propaganda war.
We're a truth engine, actually. So it's kind of amazing. They actually both ran their own like propaganda polls. Like here's some AGA.
Are we serious?
Research that supposedly shows that 85% of Americans say these contracts are gambling, not financial instruments. 84% say they should only...
But you ran your own poll in your own... God damn it, dude. Oh, you just can't fucking trust anybody, man. Yeah, we ran our own poll and our own people, and then you are the bad guy. You know, we're not the bad guy. You the bad guy.
Be available through state licensed sports books, clearly arguing their point. And then if you go to Kalshi's website, they're arguing the same thing. Propaganda survey. Quote, nationwide.
This is what I mean. They're both doing it, and then it's like, no, you. And then the other guy's like, no, you.
Poll shows broad support for prediction markets. 9 in 10 voters say Americans should have access to prediction markets, viewing them as financial instruments, not gambling. Well,
oh my God, I live in clown world. I think I have a headache. This is so, I feel like I'm in cyberpunk and there's just two conglomerates fighting and yapping in my ear.
Hey guys, which is it? Can we figure it out? It's like the prediction market books and the sports books and gaming companies are like battling out over which is gambling, which is not. Of course, I think the logical view is that if you are offering sports betting, the same product as the gambling company, those two things are the same thing. I mean, yeah, you can't use your loophole. But it's a weird position to be in, to be agreeing with like the propaganda arm of the gambling companies. But yeah, they're now fighting against the propaganda arm.
Because they think it's unfair. That's the only reason why. They're taking their money. If they weren't encroaching on their market, they wouldn't care.
of the prediction market. In fact, recently the prediction market companies have gotten together and created a coalition. It's like their own trade group called Predict Action. And they've partnered with Crypto.com, Robinhood, Coinbase, and Underdog. These are all guys who are getting in the prediction market game. And they said, we created the coalition with a simple mission, provide a voice for the prediction markets against adverse legacy lobbying groups, aka the casinos. They're fighting the casinos because they want to win and not be seen as gambling so they can win a majority share of the gambling in America. It is insane. Meanwhile, you have the prediction market guys just stumbling over themselves for whether we should allow actual insider trading in their markets, because that's a part of this that we haven't discussed, which is that these prediction markets are so grating in that they not only don't admit what they are, they also try to be something they're not, which is they say, we are not only not gambling, we're the news actually, and we are such a valuable source of information. Here's Vlad.
Well, I mean, yeah, because people fucking love gambling more than they like watching the news, so technically, yeah. That's the thing, like, technically speaking, they're not wrong.
Tinev again expressing this.
And the reason why they even took the deal in the first place is because all these fucking companies are hemorrhaging money, and they need to make money by going into contract with these gambling companies that have infinite amount of money.
I also think that
we got Gamble Wars before
if you think about
6,
the news, right? I like to think about prediction markets as the next generation of the news. We know the news is economically valuable. You know, people pay for getting the newspaper. They pay indirectly for, you know, shows like this through advertising. And so if you get the news before it happens, that should be...
Wait. What?
Even more economically valuable. So I think a lot of people, it's easy to just kind of lump it in with gambling, but this is a liquid market that gives people information in real time. I think there's a ton of economic value in that.
Yeah, you know what else?
I did hear it right. He said if you get the news before it happens. I'm not crazy. Ads? Can I snooze them? Ah, fuck, I can't. Damn it, I didn't realize I was yapping so hard. Ah, damn it, dude. He did say that? Yeah, it's insane, dude. I need to pee really quick. Ads are running anyway, I can't snooze them. I hate running ads. I was like on a string of thought too, like I was in the groove. I'll pee really quick, okay? We'll get right back in the video. I just gotta pee. He's doing the 6-7 pose. Oh my god, he is. I actually paused. Mods, ban that guy. I will kill you, chatter, in game. Okay, I'll be right back. I'll run the ads. Oh my god, 6-7, 6-7.
Oh, Metapod. Oh, Metapod, use Harden. Metapod, Harden. Oh, yeah, Metapod, you're so hard. Metapod, Harden. Oh, he's so hard. Look at those two hard throbbing Metapods. They're so strong and hard. Wow.
Hello. Hello. So think about redacted text on Epstein files. What? Oh my god, that's so funny. There's no way that's real, right? I'll look at it tomorrow. Yeah, people are saying the redacted text is readable. It's real. That's so funny. I'll look at it tomorrow. I never know. It could have naughty words in it or like fucking... Oh no, I'm lagging! Was I lagging? It says unstable. Interesting. Stream was dying earlier? Yeah, I wonder why it does that. Whatever. It's fine now. Alright. Chat. Let's keep it going. Sorry about that. Alright. Did you see blah 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 blah? It's insane! No, I did not. Hello, chat. Hello, SmugAlana. I am not Alanovich. Alanovich is a very, like, Balkan type of name. I understand the sentiment, though. Thank you. That's just your mental? True. Alright. 6, 7. Alright. 3, 2, 1. Boom.
Gives people information in real time are sports betting odds. Like, you could make the same argument for sports betting. It's like, oh, you can get a real look at who's going to win the game by what all the sharp bettors are betting at that time.
Yeah.
You can say the same thing here. But this whole idea of, like, you get the news early. The only way you get the news early, by the way, is if it's insider trading.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's so bad.
Everyone understands that, right? All these prediction markets are doing is just aggregating sentiment on the news. The only way you can get something that's not in the news from these markets is if someone with non-news information trades, which is AKA inside.
And then that information gets invaluable. And what if people withhold information in order to skew statistics and make it so that the best outcome for the most amount of money is possible? Or if the people that are setting up the bets are the ones that are like making the most money because they'll put all a bunch of money on. Like, there's so many factors to this that are just terrible.
Information. And there's a funny moment where the CEO of Coinbase, who again is part of this prediction market new grift, he kind of realizes this and he goes, you know, I was talking to the CFTC nominee the other day, who, by the way, may regulate these markets, and he was
and they could be friends and they could like skew everything. It's so fucking just dystopian to think about.
Trying to decide maybe we should allow insider trading because maybe that makes our product even better.
You know, I actually had a really interesting conversation with one of the folks that was nominated to be CFTC commissioner about this, and he asked me, he said, do you think we should allow insider trading in prediction markets? And I said, it's actually a pretty...
No, you shouldn't! Why is this even a question? God!
It's not a clear-cut question, right? Because if your goal is to actually, for the 99% of people trying to get signal about what's going to happen in the world, like is the Suez Canal going to be reopened or whatever, you actually want insider trading. You want, you know, some admiral sitting on a ship in the Suez Canal who has really good information to be trading so you get better, higher quality signal out of them, right? Now, if you want to preserve the integrity of those markets, maybe you don't want insider trading, right? So there might be like a decentralization test that has to go in here, but it's not a clear-cut answer.
That's right, guys. Maybe we want the insider trading so we can get the news of tomorrow today by encouraging people financially to go ahead and give us the news now.
Yeah,
right?
Baldy,
you encourage
you're right.
basically leakers because you financially incentivize them trading in your market and having an inside edge.
And then also, like, people, like, as the news comes out, say it's like something terrible happened and there's like a death count, like disaster or whatever, right? What if they start botching the numbers and doing it on purpose so there's more misinformation that leads to, like, the truth not coming out, and it leads to like problems down the line as things are coming out. People don't automatically get things correct as soon as the news comes out. They have to verify and like double check. Like if you like immediately start saying, oh, well, there's like 10 dead people are gonna freak out, and like that's gonna cause problems. You have to confirm it, and it's just terrifying to think about how this could like completely change like how everything functions in terms of news agencies.
I want to be super clear. There's a reason we didn't allow this in the securities market. I mean, you can make the same argument for like, well, what if we want the stock market to give us tomorrow's news today on public companies? You could just allow insider trading, and that would tell you, right? The market would move before the news came out.
Yep.
But there's a lot of reasons we don't do that, mainly that it's cheating the average trader. But these new prediction market CEOs don't see it that way. They don't want to be regulated by gambling laws. They don't want to be regulated by securities insider trading laws. Here's the Polymarket CEO being asked a question about insider trading too. He seems to suggest maybe it is also a good thing.
But predictive markets do rely on someone having some inside information.
Yeah, I think that people going and having an edge to the market is a good thing. Obviously, you need to curate.
He's just saying it, and nobody's like going against him.
Them, and you need to be really clear and stringent on where the line is drawn and like sort of ethics, and we spend a lot of time on that, but it's sort of an inevitability that this will happen, and there's a lot.
Who cares about the peasants? I'm here to make money.
And having an edge to the market is a good thing. Obviously, you need to curate them, and you need to be really clear and stringent on where the line is drawn, and like
kind of looks
sort of
like
ethics.
Miskiff, I'm not gonna
spend a lot of time on that, but it's sort of an inevitability that this will happen, and there's a lot of benefits from it, and you know, people will adapt.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
what
just adapt, Lamau.
It's inevitable that we're gonna have insider trading, and people should just adapt to the idea that they're gonna be front run by some insider. I mean, is this not crazy?
Well, you know, it's just part of the game, man. If you get fleeced and you get rug pulled, I don't know. It's not my problem.
Anyone else? Like, I saw on our Reddit the other day, you know, somebody was like, hey, CoffeeZilla, you should expose this Google inside trader on Polymarket. And I was just thinking to myself, like, expose what? Like, this is
people already do that in the government. You think people are gonna give a shit when it's just some random guy that works for a company that he already knows what's gonna happen? Yeah, wasn't there like a joke a long time ago where it's like certain people in government will sell certain stocks and buy certain stocks before it happens, and then, you know, they just make a lot of money? It's been happening since the Vietnam War. I read about it, like, I don't know, like a couple of years ago when someone made a joke about the president who enacted the Vietnam War had a wife who had a lot of stocks in helicopters, and she invested a lot of money into it because she knew that it was going to happen. Like, everybody does it. Everybody, since like the dawn of time. This isn't like something that started 20 years ago. This has happened before we were even born, chat.
Explicitly, part of the offering of platforms like this is they say, hey, you're going to get the signal early. How do you think they're getting this signal? Like, this is a feature, not a bug of these platforms. And by implementing non-insider trading rules, they're actually hurting the edge of these markets. Now, the last thing I want to say is that not all gambling companies see prediction markets as a bad thing. Actually, there has been a big split and divide at the American Gaming Association. DraftKings and FanDuel recently dropped out. This is the NCAA president saying, I'd be willing to conclude that that's a big part of their reasoning, is they're going to get into the prediction market space. They can't afford to let those folks dominate all that green space they can't currently access. Giving away the game again, that this is...
Peasants can't play, only the rich.
Rich get richer, the whole reason that the gambling companies hate this is because they're stealing their lunch. The whole reason that some gambling companies are embracing it is because they see it as the future of gambling, because they can target more people at a lower age in more states. And when you actually hear the CEOs of sports betting companies talk about this, they say they think they have an edge in this space.
And DraftKings and Fanatics, I think we have such strategic advantages, from the enormous customer base that we have to all of the experience. And
are you saying like an advantage over the Kalshis and Polymarket?
Yeah, he sounds like a soprano. Yeah, he sounds like Tony Soprano or one of his goons.
Definitely.
Yeah, so some of the gambling companies, the ones that are leaving the American Gaming Association, they're the ones that are like, yeah, this is actually great. We love this. We're entering this. We have a strategic edge because this is all gambling, of course. And so we're going to, of course, clean up because we have the most experience in the gambling space. The only way to really solve this is regulation, which we are absolutely not going to get clear rules of the road on, at least.
They're not going to enable this because if everybody wins at the big mouse that knows everything doesn't have the incentive to know everything anymore because everybody knows everything. And then it's not fair for them because then they can't make millions and millions of dollars. Duh!
Not ones that make any kind of meaningful stop.
They don't let me, like, you know how they gamble points on, what is it called? You know how we have channel points on Twitch and like sometimes we'll do like gambling points? I can't bet because I'm the one doing the action. Like I'm not allowed to engage in it. I can't just like win more money like
to the kind of crazy takeover that's been happening. And the reason I'm willing to bet on that, ironically, is because of this headline right here. Trump media enters prediction market business. If you didn't know, the Trump family is getting very invested into prediction markets. In fact,
I bet it makes a lot of money.
Don Jr. Become the Poly Market advisor. He was also an advisor of Kalshi as well. Now I guess they're taking all that experience and offering a Truth Social prediction market called Truth Predict. It's a partnership between Trump's media social network, Truth Social, and Crypto.com's Derivatives of North America. It'll allow our loyal users to engage in prediction markets with a trusted network while harnessing our social platform to provide totally unique ways for users to discuss, aka gamble, and compare their predictions. So our president literally has a financial stake, or at least his family does, in the prediction markets going well. And part of going well means keeping the regulatory sort of free, open ocean of opportunity right now, which means no regulation or very little regulation. So honestly, I have very low expectations for regulators doing anything. The very fact that they're debating with Brian Armstrong about whether we should just allow insider trading with one of the, possible commissioners is basically a giant red flag of what's to come. But I just wanted to cover this. I wanted to give people a primer on what these platforms are, what they do, what their arguments are, and the fact that they're fighting with the gambling companies over market share of our country, which I think is probably bad. Probably bad.
Wait,
when the
really?
casinos say you're cheating, you're getting ahead by breaking the rules, that's probably a bad sign.
Two retards fighting on who can make the most money. Welcome to the real world! Welcome to the real world, motherfucker! Yo, go check out CoffeeZilla, Voidzilla, his alt account. Chat! We gotta start pumping those numbers up. We gotta start gambling. We need to start gambling on how many videos I watch, how many times I pause a video. Yeah, it'll make it more exciting. People will like be very, very engaged. Ooh, engagement metrics, we love those. Yeah, like if it's V or no V, if I copy paste. Oh my god. What are we gambling? Your firstborn child. Yeah. If you don't have one, you have to write it down on a piece of paper. And if I win, I get to toss them into a volcano. Yeah, don't take backsies. You know, companies would actually want that too. They'd be like, oh, keep feeding the volcano god.